Greetings everyone. Today we're going to be talking about signal chain, and we're going to be using this Tele Deluxe with Seymour Duncan Zephyr pickups. Very interesting pickups. It has an Alnico 8 magnet in each of the pole pieces, and the wire that's used to go around the pickup is silver, which is supposed to have some sort of magic tangible effect on the tone. But anyways, for the purposes of argument, this is in Epiphone wiring, so think about a Les Paul that's sort of stuck in the middle position. The benefit of that is that at any time you can move one of these volume knobs and get sound as if it's in the neck or the bridge position, but it does sound different than if you do have a toggle switch. So because of that, I'm going to be dialing both of the volumes in to kind of mimic that middle Les Paul position as much as possible. We're going into a deluxe reverb amp that has a custom channel that was supposed to have a basement circuit. I'm not using that, I'm just using the vintage channel. This is just what the stock amp sounds like. We're going into a cloven hoof fuzz pedal by Earthquaker Devices. All I'm using for that for is just a little boost. So again, so here we are with the fuzz. And that's just kind of the thicken up the tone. It's kind of a boost. It definitely adds a lot of bass and a lot of mid-range, which is how I have it set up. After that, we're going into a warp drive, so that's the stock. Here's the warm drive. And also to mess with signal chain, I've got a Universal Audio FX pedal, the Dream version. I'm going to be using sort of the Greenback 25 model, but the green version, I don't remember what that is exactly. But anyways, I'm trying to give you a sense of what it sounds like, at least through a cell phone speaker and microphone, what it sounds like. And it's not the best quality, I know, but you will be able to hear a little bit of the delta. Certain frequencies will stand out, so I'm hoping that this is more useful than not. But let's just stop talking and get to the UA effects. So in the room, it kind of sounds like there's like two amps kind of fighting with each other. No pedals. UAFX Dream. That does change the feel and the sponginess. There's almost a feeling of compression. These are very hot pickups. They're not forgiving, and so this is actually one of the few guitars that I like to push through a digital amp modeler because so much of the signal is preserved. And not to get too much on a side tangent as to why tube amps are clearly better than modelers just as far as tone. I'm not talking about practicality, but as far as tone, Alexander Dumble gives kind of a nice summation on the internet. Basically that electrons move better through a vacuum, which is what vacuum tubes are, than normal transistors, which are not vacuum. So something about a vacuum that sort of captures the sound, but when you have really powerful hot pickups, I don't know if the silver wire does anything, but it has a lower resistance, so it's much better at conducting electrical fields and electromagnetic current than copper wire. There's a really nice fidelity to it in the room. It's kind of hard to come through the camera. But now we're going to just kind of cycle through. So I've got a fuzz that's kind of a boost. I have a warm drive that's basically a Tube Screamer clone into a UAFX Dream. which is a deluxe reverb, for those of you who don't know. I'm also playing through a deluxe reverb amp. So, UAFX. This sounds very clean and nice going into the amp, but when you try to drive it, let's go back to the cloven hoof a little bit. Nice sustain from that fuzz pedal. Going into the warm drive. Really nice sustain on that as well. Okay, so let's combine the two, because this is really, it's about signal chain, but it's about comparing how things sound with digital versus modeling. So I'm going to leave the cloven hoof on. This is going to be on the rest of the video. Fuzz into the warm drive. Alright, we're going to go cloven hoof now, just into the deluxe reverb. Now we're going to go into the UAFX string. That's pretty inspiring. Again, it's kind of shrill coming through. I mean, if I play without the UAFX and just with the cloven hoof on, it just sounds maybe a little thinner. That doesn't sound bad either, but just so we get every permutation. I know I said I was going to leave the cloven hoof on. Let's go to the warm drive and the deluxe reverb again. Dream. No UAFX, just the warm audio warm drive. Picking up. Now this is kind of what you do when you experiment with like 2 to 3 pedals at a time. The fuzz sounds really good with the UAFX Dream into the actual deluxe reverb amp. Cloven hoof on its own sounds okay. Warm drive by itself into the UAFX is a little muddled too much. It's kind of expressive, but it also feels like it's lacking something. The warm drive by itself really captures a lot of feel for like good lead tones. But let's try cloven hoof into the warm drive, no UAFX. Not bad. Again, we're only using the split position on an Epiphone style Les Paul. And that's just to control variables. All right. Familiarity, cloven hoof, UAFX. Warm drive UAFX. Let's do all three. We're going to go in order again. That's pretty much all she wrote. Kind of a long video. I hope that some of the tonal characteristics come through in the video. You can at least kind of hear the delta for when you might use certain pedals Again, this is with one very specific pickup configuration, one very specific tube amp, and specific pedals. Everyone's going to be different, but kind of experiment with how pedals stack, how each one sounds on its own. More to come in the next video.